If you ask any kid what their favorite sea creature is, chances are at least one will shout out an otter without hesitation. These lovable mammals never seem to be in a bad mood, which makes them seem almost alien-like in the cutthroat world of nature. Their happiness is infectious, just like their cuteness. Otters can be found in both fresh and salt water around the world. And there are 13 different species of them, each as charming as the last. But when it comes to their unusual hobbies, there's one that really stands out. Sea otters are famous for floating on their backs while eating their dinner. This habit makes them the only animal in the world that regularly floats on purpose. They will push their food around with their noses to make sure every morsel is thoroughly enjoyed. Once they've had their fill, they will roll over and fall asleep under the water, only popping up to breathe every once in a while. How do they even do this? The secret lies in their fur. Sea otters have the densest fur of any mammal in the world, even more than polar bears. A single sea otter has between 700 and 1 million hairs per square inch of skin. This luxurious fur coat keeps them warm in frigid waters, where temperatures can get as low as 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 4.4 degrees Celsius. All those hairs trap a layer of warm water next to their bodies, helping them survive in some of the coldest oceans on Earth. In fact, sea otters can be found as far north as the Arctic Circle. And when the temperature drops below freezing, they have a trick up their sleeve. They rub themselves against rocks, seaweed, sand, and anything else that can help remove excess salt from their fur. Since they spend so much time in the water, sea otters naturally accumulate a lot of salt in their fur. The best way to get rid of it is by rubbing against something solid. Unfortunately, this also causes their fur to become matted. So, sea otters spend a lot of time grooming themselves to prevent this from happening. They will spend up to 5 hours a day cleaning their fur. If they don't keep up with their hygiene, their fur can become so tangled that they can't turn it over. And you guessed it, they can't get back to their super cute floating position to eat and sleep anymore. Otters are also very social animals who love to play. While they're not known for being great parents, they are great siblings. Otter pups usually stay with their mom until they are 6 months old, at which point they either leave home or move in with another family. Since otters live in groups, these new households aren't anything new to them. And unlike other animals, they don't kill each other's babies. Instead, everyone pitches in to take care of all the pups in the group, kind of like an otter village. They might not be great parents, but they sure know how to raise happy kids. When an otter pup is born, the rest of the family rushes over to greet them and give them lots of kisses. They also carry them around and help them learn how to swim. It takes about a month for an otter pup to be able to swim on its own. In the meantime, the whole family swims around while holding on to each other so no one gets left behind. At 6 months old, a pup is considered an adult and is ready to leave home. Sometimes they will move in with another family, but most often they prefer to go solo. Male sea otters have territories that overlap with the territories of several females. They will defend their space aggressively against other males, but they don't try to control the females. Females will come and go as they please, so long as there are enough clams to go around. Sea otters are carnivores, but they aren't exactly predators. They mostly feed on whatever is already dead or has been caught by another animal. For example, if a crab or a sea urchin dies and sinks to the bottom of the ocean, an otter will be there in a flash to gobble it up. They also won't hesitate to steal someone else's lunch. In fact, otters will steal each other's food all the time. Even though they are related, they don't always get along. Otters are highly territorial and don't like to share their space or food. If you see a bunch of otters holding hands, it probably means they're getting ready to fight. When an otter reaches out a hand to another otter, it's usually to start a fight, not make a friend. That's why you'll often see a group of otters swimming around while holding hands. They're ready to rumble at the drop of a hat. But sometimes they get into fights with other animals. One of the sea otter's main enemies is the sea lion. It's just like otters. Sea lions live in groups called pods. Just like otters, sea lions are very playful. Sea otters often have to compete with sea lions for food, and sometimes this competition turns into violent fights. Sea otters can hold their breath underwater for up to 8 minutes, which is useful for stealing prey from unsuspecting sea lions. They will dive deep down and grab whatever fish or squid the sea lion has been hoarding before, darting away before the sea lion realizes what's happened. Because sea otters are so small, it's nearly impossible for sea lions to catch them. That is, unless they team up. Sometimes a group of sea lions will work together to surround a group of otters and snatch some of them out of the water. Then they rip their prey apart limb from limb. So if you ever see a bunch of otters holding hands, keep your distance. You never know when a fight might break out. And speaking of fighting, otters aren't the only ones who like to hold hands. Human beings like to hold hands too, and we've been doing it for thousands of years. Historians believe the earliest record of humans holding hands comes from a cave painting in Spain that dates back 35,000 years. The painting shows two people holding hands, and it's one of the few pieces of art from that period that depicts human interaction. Throughout history, people have held hands during religious ceremonies, political rallies, and romantic dates. Hand-holding is a universal gesture of affection and support, and it's something that human beings have been doing for as long as we've been around. But there's another human activity that has been around for just as long as holding hands: storytelling. Humans have been telling stories around campfires since the days when we lived in caves. Stories are an important part of human culture. They help us make sense of the world around us and teach us important lessons. Now we're continuing that tradition by sharing the stories of the wild with you. Each week we bring you a new story of power, survival, and beauty from the animal kingdom. Some of our favorites so far have been about a baboon army taking over a zoo, a crocodile with a taste for bubble tea, and a bear who just couldn't say no. We've got plenty more adventures planned, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, a special message from our community manager. Hi, I'm one of the community managers here. I wanted to reach out and thank you for being a part of our community. I read all the comments you leave on our videos, and I'm always amazed by your creativity and passion for learning. Keep those awesome comments coming. Don't forget to join our community tab because there's lots of fun stuff there, like a quiz based on this video. Can you get 100%? I hope so. And we've got puzzles, polls, and behind-the-scenes content waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.